Jurassic World Rebirth was directed by Gareth Edwards and is the 7th movie in the Jurassic World franchise after Jurassic World Dominion a few years ago. This is also written by David Koepp, who penned the original movie back in 1993. This takes place 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, as you follow a new team of people who are on their way to an island where there are still some dinosaurs and where some experiments were taking place. This team is being led by Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson, and they're essentially being bankrolled by someone played by Rupert Friend in order to get some dinosaur blood and DNA in order to bankroll some very big medical breakthroughs. And once they get to the island, you can kind of guess what happens. Dinosaurs are, of course, there, and they're pretty dangerous, and so they have to try and survive their entire experience over there and hopefully make it out in one piece. That's something that is very much ingrained within the DNA of the Jurassic movies in general, going back to the original one, and that's something, once again, that we're dealing with over here. Some will tell you that when it comes to the Jurassic series, it's very much run its course when it comes to the ideas and the things that it can do. And that was something that I very much felt with Dominion. When we got to that movie and to the end of that movie, I thought, all right, I think we've run the quota on this. Like, I think we can officially call it a day on the Jurassic World movies. So imagine my surprise when they announced a new one. But Gareth Edwards being involved did give me some renewed interest, because I think one thing when it comes to his movies, going to Godzilla and Rogue One and The Creator, is he's a director who really understands scale and the size of things. And one of the best parts of the original Jurassic Park movie, and even The Lost World, I would say, was really understanding the scale of dinosaurs and, making them feel as big as they are. And I will say right out the gate, that is something that is present in Jurassic World Rebirth. He definitely manages to capture the scale and size of dinosaurs once again, and there are some really great moments that you get out of that. There's this incredible Titanosaur sequence that you've seen some teases of in the marketing. It is beautifully done. And it kind of recaptures some of that, sense of awe that was in the original movie when you saw the Brachiosaurus. Like there was that really, magical sense to that, and the theme kicking in. That was once again something that they tried to emulate over here. Even the theme kicks in here. I thought they did a decent job with that. And there's a few sequences where it really does get to shine in that sense. It is a visually terrific movie. That's something that I've never really had an issue with when it comes to the Jurassic Park movies or even the Jurassic World movies since. The visual effects have always been really good. But in this case, I think they're some of the best of the series. Like, they are very, very well done. And the cinematography that you get over here, this movie's entirely shot on film. It looks phenomenal. The technical work over here, even with the sound design and everything that's happening, is quite remarkable. And once again, it just goes to show how Gareth Edwards, as a director, he can really make those sequences, make the most out of those sequences. Alexandre Desplat's score, who incorporates a lot of John Williams themes in here, I thought he did a really great job with the score. This was really fantastic, musical background which he added to the entire movie. And when it comes to the performances, I thought Scarlett Johansson did a really good job as Zora. I thought she was really good, especially in the action sequences and stuff, because that's kind of her specialty. She's someone who has been in the field, and so she very much has this survival instinct to her when it comes to handling certain things. I also really like Jonathan Bailey as Dr. Henry Loomis. Just this sheer awe and wonder that he has to everything that's happening, all of that coming through in his performance as well. And I liked his dynamic with Scarlett Johansson as well. I also really liked Mahershala Ali as Duncan, who is the captain of the boat that they're on. He was having a great time with it too, and very charismatic presence with the entire thing. One thing I will say about the characters though is I would have liked a little bit more to know about them beyond exposition. There are certain things that are set up early on in the movie when it comes to where they've been and how that affects the mission that they're on. And it was a little hard to have an emotional attachment to some of it because we didn't really get to see any of that. In fact, we didn't see any of it. There's one thing in particular with Zora's character that's mentioned as like this huge event that's taken place, and it's like you can see how this is having an impact on everything that we're seeing, as the movie progresses. But we never really got to know a lot about that, so it's always very strange when characters are like, you remember that thing that happened? It's like, Yeah, but we don't remember that thing. Like, I mean, we sort of are thrust into the middle of everything with all of these characters, and we never really got a chance to experience what really went down leading to that. And so it can sometimes lag a little bit when it comes to those things. The place where I do think it does suffer with characters is with this B plot with a family that is also in the area. They're also somewhat, caught up in this entire situation, and they're also a storyline that we're following, like we're trying to see if they're gonna make it to the end. This entire subplot, I felt like, kind of dragged the movie at parts. It leads to a couple of decent moments, and it leads to one very cute dinosaur named Dolores who shows up, which I thought was really sweet. And there's this one really great scene involving a T-Rex where I thought that was really nicely done. But beyond that, it doesn't really feel like it adds much to the narrative of the movie beyond they're also here. And this is something that's happening. And a couple of the people in that group, like especially this one guy who's like the boyfriend to the daughter of that family, I just could not stand this character, man, for a while there. Like, again, couple of glimmers where I thought there's something, but beyond that, nothing much. And it just really does, affect the entire movie in the process. Because again, when it comes to the spectacle of it and when it comes to the enjoyment factor, there's some great stuff. There's a great boat sequence that's quite extended early on. I thought that was really well done. Again, I already mentioned the Titanosaur thing. That was really great. There's the big amalgamation of the movie, the D-Rex, which has been advertised a bit. When that thing shows up, it's a very terrifying looking thing with a face only a mother could love. Like, yes, it's intense stuff, and there's some really great moments visually over there too, which you get. I just wish that some of the writing along with that, and the dialogue especially, was a lot stronger, because unfortunately that was somewhere where I thought the movie was suffering. There's also a couple of points with characters where there's like, you're just waiting for them to do something because you know it's going to happen because you've seen a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park movie before. And then that thing happens. Like, you put a timer on it long before you get to that point, and then it's there. Some of it, I will say, doesn't do much, like, past a point. Like, there's a couple of things that they set up as, like, these big things that might matter, towards the later part of the movie, and they don't really end up doing that. They kind of subvert that expectation. I thought that was kind of cool. But then there were other moments where it didn't really do that, and I thought, well, kind of saw that coming. But all that being said and done, I still think that overall, this movie, Rebirth, it is better. It is an improvement over the last couple of them. I would say it's a step in the right direction overall, though I wouldn't say it's as good as the first movie or even the first Jurassic World and even the Lost World Jurassic Park. I actually think that movie is like a little better than the credit it gets. I do think that if they will make more going forward, which they might, we'll see what happens, that they take the right things from here and double down on making those, better, but also improving on the areas where they're lacking over here. I'm gonna give Jurassic World Rebirth a 7 out of 10. It's fine. It's genuinely fine. Like, could have been great, but it's okay. It's not too bad at all. Guys, thank you very much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very, very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.